Hello, I'm Kim Haynes, a Product Marketing Manager in the Chemistry Technology Center at Waters Corporation. In part 3 of this series, we'll take some time to really explain a sample cleanup and concentration method that we developed as a starting point for peptide bioanalysis. I'd like to take some time in this module to really explain a sample cleanup and concentration method that we developed as a starting point for peptide bioanalysis. Biomolecules can be a big challenge compared to small molecules due to their increased size and charge state distribution. Their sensitivity by mass spec analysis can be lower, making sample concentration a necessity. In addition, the presence of similar biological matrix components in the sample may dictate the need for a cleanup that is highly selective for the peptide of interest. Finally, the cleanup technique must lead to a robust analysis that's reproducible and we can trust to be reliable. When we first started looking into an efficient way to selectively target and remove matrix interferences from biological samples, we knew we would have to take an approach that was very different from small molecules. The Oasis mixed-mode sorbents are the best choice for highly selective sample cleanup because they employ reversed phase and ion exchange functionality, resulting in a highly selective, orthogonal approach to sample cleanup. Peptides are challenging in terms of solubility, nonspecific binding, and protein binding. They're also zwitterionic, meaning that they have both acid and base functionality. Through some trial and error, research, and the development of internal expertise, we narrowed down the best sorbent choices to the weak cation exchanger and the strong anion exchanger, and put them into a method development plate format. We also developed a generic starting method that works well for most peptides. Let me explain what this method looks like and why the steps are what they are. First of all, you'll see that we apply the same protocol to both the Oasis WCX weak cation exchanger and the Oasis MAX strong anion exchange sorbents. The single protocol was developed especially for peptides to eliminate peptide precipitation and promote peptide solubility. It's quite different than our traditional small molecule protocol for mixed mode ion exchange sorbents. We start with a peptide separation technology Oasis microelution plate. These plates are a patented design that allows you to load up to 700 microliters of diluted sample while eluting in as little as 25 microliters. This enables a concentration factor of up to 15 times, critical when sensitivity is a challenge. Furthermore, the small elution volume provides the ability to skip the evaporation and dry down step after sample cleanup. You can simply dilute with water and inject into the LCMS. Many peptides are lost due to nonspecific binding, solubility, or degradation issues in the dry down and reconstitution steps. So the ability to skip that not only saves time, it increases recovery, sensitivity, and overall method robustness. Now let's take a look at the method itself. We can load our diluted sample directly onto the method development plate without conditioning or equilibration steps due to the Oasis sorbent being water wettable. We typically try a dilution of plasma 1:1 with a solution of 4% phosphoric acid as a starting point to disrupt protein binding and also to reduce viscosity. This is followed by a wash step of 5% ammonium hydroxide to remove some weakly bound polar interferences. It also makes sure that the Oasis WCX sorbent is charged, as it is a weak cation exchanger. We increase selectivity by washing again with 20% acetonitrile. This step removes more interferences, but it's not strong enough to remove even the most polar peptides. In the elution step, we use 75% acetonitrile to elute the peptide. Higher concentrations of acetonitrile would precipitate the peptide rather than elute it, reducing our recovery. This also leaves more hydrophobic interferences retained on the sorbent, so they don't go into our sample. You may have also noticed the high concentration of TFA in the elution step. That is 1% TFA, not 0.1% TFA. This high concentration promotes solubility of peptides for better recovery and reproducibility. Don't worry about injecting that high concentration into the LCMS system. Remember, you dilute the eluate 1:1 with water and directly inject only a few microliters into the LCMS. No problem. If you need to do method development with this starting protocol, it typically involves different steps to disrupt the protein binding, or stronger acids or bases in the elution step, never more organic. Don't underestimate the impact of nonspecific binding losses at this point. The peptide is now free of matrix after cleanup and concentration. If you choose to add a carrier protein to mitigate nonspecific binding, you're effectively adding matrix back to your clean sample. This can cause matrix interferences, unwanted system contamination, and sample complexity. To solve this challenge in our workflow, we actually created Quan recovery vials and plates with max peak high performance surfaces. These are new and innovative technologies designed specifically to increase recovery sensitivity and repeatability by reducing annulate surface interactions, an essential tool to mitigate nonspecific binding losses. We really hope this module helped explain a sample cleanup and concentration method developed as a starting point for peptides. For more information about this and other related topics, you can always visit the Bioanalysis Bootcamp to learn more and increase your peptide and protein quantification fitness. Thank you.